What's up YouTube, this is Isaiah Telefero, and in this video I am drawing a picture of Batman and inking it, and I'm also talking to you guys on how I got into art and why art is pretty much so important in society. So now, I started art when I was like very young. I could hardly tell a time limit because I started at a very young age. I really started taking art seriously when I was like 5 or 6, because I knew as soon as I picked up the pen and pencil, I knew I just wanted to draw. I just didn't know what kind of things that I wanted to draw. I used to draw a lot of animals and different types of cartoon characters, but I never really focused on a certain style. Like some people have a style that they just do comics or they just do cartoons. Well, I was in that period of time where I'm like, okay, I need to, well, this year was actually the period of time where I was like, okay, I can draw all of these things. I just need to focus on one of them and make it one of my main priorities. So I always loved comic books. I always would watch the comic superheroes on TV, like Justice League and everything, and I used to watch it and I'd be like, wow. And then one day I got my first comic book and I was flipping through it and I was like, oh my god. Well, I took out my first comic book and I was like, wow, like how this is amazing that they can do all of this and it doesn't look that hard. But once I started to actually focus on it and try to do it, I was like, wow, this really isn't easy. Like, you have to know anatomy, you have to know pretty much all of this stuff to get the bodies right. And I would go and I would look at the way Jim Lee draws his stuff and the way other comic book artists draw their stuff, and they have almost every part of the anatomy right, and I would just sit there and I'm like, okay, how did they do it? And because I would go and I would check out interviews on different websites, and I would read through them and I would look at their childhood and what they did as artists when they were growing up, and I would try and replicate it. And then I would look at what they did to learn what they knew. Like one artist, he didn't even draw when he was young, and he was an amazing artist. So I'm like, okay, I need to find a way that I can make my anatomy better and make my dynamic drawing better and my foreshortening and everything. So I found this website, and it was, I forget what it was called, but it had different poses on it, and you could set how long you wanted to see the pose for, and it would do that. So I try now. I recently found it, and I try and use it every day, just so I know how to draw different dynamic poses. So when I'm actually getting a job in the comic book world, I know how to draw that character and draw different poses. I think poses has to be the hardest thing in comics to me. Some people say, oh, poses are easy, because if you mess up on a person's arm and you forget about that one muscle, and say if the guy's punching and you mess up the muscle, then the picture can look all off. Or if the guy is even running and you don't make the muscles and the legs a certain way, then you can mess up the whole piece. So pretty much all I want to do at this moment right now, because I'm still young, I want to work on my anatomy, work on my poses, and work on all of that, because that is what I truly need to work on. So let me get on to my other topic of this video on why art, and not just art but comic books, are so important in society. Some people grew up with comic books, and I want comic books to stay around forever. We need people to spread the word about comic books, because comic books, they're the easy way out. If they made textbooks and the way they made comic books, then I would read my textbooks every day. I have a Bible that is in comic book version, and I read it. It made me get a connection with God because I'm a Christian, and that's why I love it so much. And that's why, like, everybody loves comic books, and this video is about to end. So I didn't really get to finish my topic, but I want you guys to leave a comment down below on why you think society needs comic books and why you think comic books are so important.